Hey everybody, and welcome to another market update video. And today we're going to go through the current BTC price action and some of your favorite altcoins. And I get the feeling that a lot of people are getting bored now in the market. You know, they're just waiting for this next leg to happen. And all I can say is that you have to be patient in this market. You know, look, if you look at it from a zoomed out perspective, you know, we had the run up from 2022 into April 2023, and then here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 months sideways action, and then we had a massive run up until 72,000, and now again we've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 months where we're just sideways again, and that again will lead to price expansion. But what I'm trying to say at the moment is that we just have to be kind of patient, or I think you're in the wrong game really. No one knows exactly when price is going to start turning, but we have analysis, we have good indicators that tells us if we're likely close to the bottom or not. And what I want to just show you now at the moment is I want to zoom out and just show you these key levels like I did before. And right now price has come into this monthly fair value gap, okay, this FVG, which is a lot of liquidity here, and probably it's come right to the center of the gap, which is a good sign. I mean, we're seeing a small bounce. We go to the weekly. Price has done a swing failure pattern of this one and of this wick here at what was that, 56,500, and now it's attempting to break above it. So this is just in terms of liquidity, this is something nice to see. And we want price really to hold above that 56,500 for further action to go, for further upside action. And this is why I posted an update today, and you can see all the resistance areas. Now if I talk about this one specifically, right, this fair value gap, which is a bearish fair value gap on the break below, right, now this has been disrespected twice, meaning that price has gone back into it all the way to the top, which means that maybe this is now weakening. Okay, so now that we're trading back into it, I want to see a daily close in this area, so we can then break above into the next area, about 60,000, which I think will be, above this candle will be a significant resistance. If we break above here, then most likely for me the bottom is in, and we can start making that third wave move for alts and this fifth wave move for BTC. Something to bear in mind is that this level here, this swing failure pattern of 56,500, it's going to be crucial that we hold this level here. Otherwise, you could see a further move down. Now, what I like to use is I don't really use many indicators. I like there's RSI, stochastic, and stuff like that. I prefer the on-chain indicators, and this one is called I think it's the MVRV, or is it MVRV score. And what I like about this is that if this is going to be now a reversal from here, price won't go below the below this red line. If you go below this red line, most probably we're going much further down to the 0.5 target at possibly $47,000. Okay, I don't want to scare people at the moment, but this is normally a short signal entry, and this is a long signal entry. In this whole bull market since 2022, we've never gone below, and this is the daily time frame, by the way. We've never gone below this red line. Okay, this just not happened. Okay, so the last time we went below the red line, and you can quite significantly see, is right back in 2021, and it was a short signal entry each time you come up short, until obviously you make the reversal. Now back in August 2023, we hit it and we reversed, and now again we're at that same point. Now, will we reverse? I think we will. That's what I believe, but obviously price has to prove it for us. I can just have a hunch. There's other indicators I can say, yeah, we're looking for a reversal, but price has to prove that. And I'll show you the history of this indicator, which is something I've been using for a long time now. If we go back into even the 2017 bull market, you can see price doesn't really get below that red line until you finish the bull market. Only one exception to that was the COVID crash, and the signal that it was coming to an end was here around at 10,000, because once you're below it, you remain below it, and then obviously it's a signal for a short entry signal. That signal came here, and then obviously look at the price that came down after that. So once you're in a bear market, you're not really above the red line, and generally when you're in a bull market, you're above the red line. That's what we want to see. We want to actually see above the green line for actually a long signal. Once we're above that green line for this indicator, then it's a fairly good long signal. So at the moment, looking at the fibs, looking at where we are, so we just take a quick fib retracement from wave 2 to the top. So let's just take that, let's take this off. So let's just say that was the bottom of wave 2. So if we look at the 382, let's just put the 0.5 in. So obviously it's around 47, 48,000 depending what low you take. If you take this low, I think there was a slightly lower low on Bybit. This is the index. So if you take this low, it's around 49,000. Obviously, if I see us breaking below that red line, then you could probably see a more significant drop. But at the moment, I think I would say we're looking. I would personally say that we're looking to reverse, and the bottom's in. But once we get more data, more evidence, above 60,000, you can be more confident. But I wouldn't want this line to break down, because that would be a worry. Not for to say certain. If it breaks down below that red line, definitely, it's we're done, because there are exceptions, and there have been exceptions. But it's just the probabilities are more likely that we're going to have a bigger drop down. So something to look at, and something just to remain patient. At the moment, Bitcoin around 57.8 thousand. Looking to enter this fair value gap, and this is what I want to see, this fair value gap break, because this is at the moment key resistance, and the next one will be between 61 and 60,000, and that's the one I'm looking for us to break, for us to say the bottom is actually in for Bitcoin. So yeah, at the moment we just have to remain patient. You can't just I know it's frustrating at this time, but yeah, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, and the last thing I'll just say about Bitcoin is this is still the channel that I have, and this is still what I would say my analysis over time and price. So if this is the bottom, and this is another, if I take out the indicators, this is another confluence for why I think bottom could be in. You've got the bottom of the channel, you've got the 382, couple of confluences there, couple of indicator confluences, and then you've got, like I am wave 5 times 0.5618 around September to October, and you've got the two price targets at $104,000 to $124,000. That's my area that I'm looking at. Cycle it, if it extends out to the to the 1-to-1, that would finish around December. Okay, December 2024. And price, then obviously I'm looking at the top of the channel. So if I just put this channel down, so I'm looking at the top of this channel, and that's $150,000. $150,000 breaking the channel. A wave 5 shouldn't really break the channel. This is my point. So if we get to December, and that would be obviously a right, still could be a left translated cycle, but probably more likely a right, just getting into a right translated cycle. Price would go to 154,000. And if we go to the 1.618, which is a possibility if there's loads of extensions, and 2025 is something that a lot of people are saying. And then we got a max price target of $210,000. And I know this is like moon boy stuff. Like I said, my 90% is in here. I've given this like I think it was what was it, 4%? No, did I give this a, if this was 90%, I think I gave this like a 7% chance, and this is a 3%, something like that. If it gets to $210,000, I'm gonna be ecstatic. I'm gonna be over the moon. Don't get me wrong. I'll be so happy if it gets there. But will it get there? I'm not so sure, huh? It's a great, it's a great time, great price. April 2025. The 4-year cycle's intact. Everything's going great. We got a 1-year bear market now, and that's it. But $210,000 for elongated wave 5. We'll see. So I'm still focusing on this area here, which is October and September. And hopefully we'll see when it comes to that. When it comes to that date, when we're here, when we're in September, if we're gonna see a top, whether it's a local top or a macro top, we'll have to analyze it. I'm not. I can't see the future. I don't know what's going to happen exactly. This is just analysis. And I think that's where a lot of people, get really, how can I say, they get really frustrated, or sometimes they get a bit abusive on on Twitter, where they say, because it goes against their bias. Nobody knows the future. I don't know the future. This is just analysis, and this is a place where price has a good, good. It has a good place of topping here. There's a good chance that it tops here, shall I say. But, there's chances that it could top in December's another time, and then again, around April. But let's see. I don't know the future, and when it comes to September, October, I'll assess it, and we'll move from there. So the other thing I want to talk about is a cycle theory. And I've seen a few posts coming on this, and it's like the cycle theory has just been invented a few weeks ago. But generally, we've been if you've been following myself and other people in the space, they've been going on about cycles for a long time. And I just want to take you back to the 3 main cycles, or the cycles that I've had, the 4 yearly cycles were from low to low. So, for the first one, you've had a right translated cycle. So this was 2015 to 2017 cycle, right? So that was, the bear market was for a year, and the right translate cycle was for 3 years. Okay, and this is the midpoint of the cycle. Okay, and after the midpoint, you have the top, which is which is about 3 years in that sense. Now, it's interesting when you see it like this. Then we had the cycle that was the last cycle in 2021. Again, the midpoint, and we had the top, again the double top, you can say. One was early towards the midpoint, and the second top, which is the B wave in my opinion, happened later on in November. And then we had a year-long bear market. Now again, this is where we're coming into this year. Are we going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 right translated cycles, or is this one going to be left? So this one, if for it to be a left translated cycle, it has to happen roughly before November, December 2024, okay, around this period. So there's still, we're in July, so you got about 4 or 5 months, or you could say about 5 months left of this cycle, for it to be left translated. Or are we going to get another top, in the right part of this cycle? Now, for me personally, just looking at, you might say, okay, it's been right, so why is it going to be left, and so forth. It's just that we're very high compared to any previous cycle at the moment. Although it has been slowing down now for 3-4 months, I do believe, like, if you just look at this from afar, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we're just going to have 5. Now, is the 5 going to stretch into this area here? Let me see if I can get something to illustrate that a bit better. So, is the 5 gonna elongate this way up, or are we gonna get a more sharper top? Now, for me, I still think the left translate cycle is coming. I think it's still a good possibility, but we have to wait and see, and we have to see how far we get. How you get these cycles? You got a 48 month, 4 years from low to the next low. So this low to this low. Now this low to the next low will come in around 2026, 2026, around December. So regardless of whether we get a top here or here, the low will come in around, based on cycle theory, will come in around 2026. So we can get either an extended bear market, a 2-year bear market instead of a 1-year bear market, or we get the same old cycles. And some people are even saying that there's no more cycles anymore. So we have to just look at the models. Models are there to they are there to break eventually. So we have to be vigilant. But for me at the moment, we haven't had a left translated cycle, and they do normally come up, and especially with how things are around in the economy, it's not great. Even though markets are going up, things are not great. I'm not going to pretend to be a macro expert like a lot of people, but I would just say things aren't great, and sometimes a left translated cycle is, it's basically a symptom of things not being great. So you just get a big push, and then a prolonged bear market, can I say, for until things settle out again. So that's what I'm still thinking, the left translated cycle, and my dates are around September, October, but before December would be December, November would be a left translated cycle, and it's very easy to just look at it from far out when you zoom out. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. So the first coin you guys wanted to look at was FET, and so if I look at FET from here, again we look at this low here back in November 2022, made the first wave up, wave to a pullback, and then again another 1-2 here. I would be guessing a 1-2 setup. And for me, FET is, we've had this in the first monthly FVG. We had the retrace, made another 2 bullish FVGs, no retracement in there, and then obviously this last one between $1.30 to to 78 cents. I think this is a great. Personally, I think this is a great buy the dip opportunity, but this is not financial advice. And what targets can we get for the next wave up? So if we put a little fib in, so you've got, like I said before, you've got targets coming down to, I think 89 cents would be, I think around here. Anything in this green box I think is a good DCA, personally. I know might be a big range, but when we're looking at targets of, in my opinion, the next targets at between $5 to $9. Okay, probably around $9, I would say. And if we do really extend, let me see, if we do really extend, will be probably be the 3 and 4. It could probably get to $15 if there's a real extension, but I like to keep it conservative and like to keep it safe. And the 1.618, around $9, $8 to $9, I think would be a great, it'll be another profit taking area. But this could extend. So anything in here I think is a great, fantastic buy the dip opportunity. So I'm incredibly bullish on FET, but that's up to you guys, what you want to do with that. The next one I looked at was Render. I think it was Render. That was another popular outcome, popular request was Render. And let me just delete that. We don't need that. Okay, and again, I always look at the monthly because I like looking at the monthly chart here for Render. And what was that? Anchored VWAP, take that off. Okay, and again, so if we look at it from again from the low in June, you could have the wave 1, 2, 3. You can have the 4 coming down. Let's just look at some of these fibs, and let's see. So you got the 1 here. This is quite clean. Coming into the 618, that's looking good. 1.618 for the third. You're coming into a monthly FVG area. That's fine. Yeah, so For render, if it was me, and I think I've said this before, for render, again, you never know. This could be a 1-2-1-2. It depends if it's still in the second or third, because it hasn't really gone up to where I like in the third, which is at least a $138, $32, and that's the kind of extension I'm getting here as well, around $35, $32. So again, the fair value gap on the monthly all the way down to like $5, and I wouldn't be surprised they're getting to $35. Extension $56 maybe in this third. It could be like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth. So remember, these targets are just for the next push up. There'll be another one. So and how you'll do it. And this is very rough. So don't take this as So if that's the third, okay, that'll be the fourth. And if that's the fourth, okay, so this is how I would do it. So this is the 1, 2. So this is the third. That would be the 4. Sorry about that. So this is the top of the third. Let's just say the top of the third is the 168. So you're looking at a total for render around 90 to 140. Let's say 90 to $111. That's what I would say. But this is very rough. Yeah. So let's just look at the next. That's why I like looking at the next targets. Okay, not the final targets where it could go. So the next target for me, good DCA spot here. Could it get into the 886 at $2? Personally, I don't think so. It could, but 886 is something where I don't want it really to go into the 786 or the 618, but the 618 has good confluence in it, because the 618 has the fair value gap on the monthly, and the monthly level is normally the strongest fair value gaps anyway. You got the dailies, you got the 4 hours, you got fair value gaps everywhere, but the monthlies are normally the strong ones. Look at you could just look at it from here, the monthly into the monthly, touch the monthly again and again. So unless you start seeing bearish fair value gaps on the monthly, the bulls are in control. So I would say DCA anyway in this fair value gap at $5, 5, and look at least to $32, $32. Oh, the yellows are the more conservative ones, so you can start taking profits at 22, 27, and then 35. But that's my analysis on render. Bullish on render, and it's a good project anyway. So remember, again, nothing's financial advice. This is just for education purposes. Hope you like that one. Another one I think a lot of people said on my comments was TRAC. TRAC. Where are you, TRAC? Let's do it on Coinbase. KuCoin. Let's do it on KuCoin. Okay. Now, TRAC has had the fair value gap here around 45 cents. So I don't think it shouldn't come back into this. So now let me go into the weekly. See, is there anything else here on the weekly? On the weekly again, it was around 45 cents. So let me go into the daily and see anything there. I just like to look at the fair value gaps. And yes, we have gone into the fair. So we've gone into the liquidity zone at 57 cents. Now let me go back to the monthly and put some fibs on this and see how we are doing with TRAC. And TRAC again looks like a just in itself, that just looks like 1-2. It looks like the third wave is starting, in my opinion. So the bottom was back in June. Yep, I tweeted that out back in June as well, around 20 cents. Go to the top, and what have we hit? We have hit the 618. The 786 is there. So obviously here, the key for wave 2, 618, 786, perfect retracements. Personally, I don't want it to go into the 886. It's a bit iffy when it goes that low. But a wave 2 is a wave 2. A wave 2 kills all your excitement that you had in wave 1. It's just how it is. And where could this go? This wave 3, I would be targeting $3.70, possibly. Let's see if I do the, obviously we don't know if this is the bottom yet, so this is just I do a couple of fibs just to look at confluences, but me personally, I like to keep it safe and conservative. So for me, my next profit taking for TRAC would be between $2 to, like, you could say $4 area. And yeah, so that's what I think is a good one. I think between the you know, coming in here, we coming into wave 2, and then we got that $4 to you know, 2.5 to around $4. So that's my analysis for TRAC. So the next one I'll do is ADA, and that's one of the old ones in the space from last from the last cycle. And what you can notice straight away again, and I love this is why I love the fair value gaps. They're so, especially on the monthly and the, you know, if you get into a monthly fair value gap, you know, and it comes right into it and it respects it, you love, you know, it's basically you're laughing. That's what I think. Even here, let's go back to the cycle before. You know, you get into the fair value gap, you know, you close above it, you don't even get into that one, so you don't have a chance to get into that one, but you go into this one here. This one you wouldn't have even known, because the fair value gap gets created on this candle, so it's not even the, it's the, you know, it's not the, it's this candle after. You need 3 candles, so one before the main candle and one after, so you wouldn't know that fair value gap was going to be created. So this is why I like these ones, because it makes it and then it comes back into it. Now from here, yeah, it's a risk. You know, nobody knows if ADA is going to start climbing now. So then you have a signal here. I look at you know, a retracement of the fib levels. This looks like a wave 2 right into the 786, and my target will be probably, because it'll probably clear both of these fair value gaps that I've been traded into before. Maybe you have some resistance here. This one not so much, and I think you'll trade into $1.70. You know, you got fair value gap here, bearish one, but I think you'll get into the $1 to $1.70. Wave 2, wave 3, maybe even higher. Wave 4, wave 5. I don't think for ADA you probably get much above its all-time high. You probably, depending, but you won't. You know, final one. You might just get around. You know, what is it? It's around. You might get to $6, $5 or $6. I would say. Just my educated guess. Sorry about that, but anyway, what I would say is that this is wave 2, and ADA is getting into the wave 3 right now, and yeah, so I wouldn't be very bearish on ADA. I know some people are, but I wouldn't necessarily. Is anything else? Dot similar thing. Wave 1, wave 2, into a monthly fair value gap. You know, there's nothing much more to say about that. Link. Let's see what Link is saying. Oh, again, same thing. These things are all the same to me. 1, 2, and that's where it's going. At least I think I've done analysis on this before. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, wave 2, and the reason I think we're in wave 2 is all over is because of this chart. You know, 1, 2, and now we're looking for the third. It might take a bit of time, but you know, that's what we have to do. We just have to be patient right now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's update, and I'll hit you up on the next one, maybe in the next few days. Do some more altcoins, more Bitcoin analysis, see what the market's saying. Please remember, like, subscribe, you know, share this video. It really helps me produce more content for you guys. Check out our website, themarketsunplugged.com. You know, Crypto Unplugged will be doing a lot of content, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. So see you guys next time. Bye.